Hello friends, welcome to H2 Zone Solution and Production. Today we will see how CSS Flexbox works, and also we will see how responsive layout works. For that purpose I will make one project. It is like a basic project which give you idea that how Flexbox works. And first I will start a basic code, and then I will explain you that how Flexbox works and what is Flexbox container, item and other stuff. But before that I will make a basic project. Okay, first I will make a basic project like a demo, and after that I will open VS Code. Okay, now I will make a one file name as index.html, and for a basic HTML code, instead of writing a basic structure, I will use exclamation sign like this one, and when I select or click the enter button, it will make a basic code for me. And we can make any title like CSS Flexbox demo, and after that in a body we'll make a div and give name as class name as container, and in this div I will make a 5 more child div item. So I will use a shortcut snippet like div.item into 5, so it will make a 5 div and its class name is item. So for a testing purpose I am giving an inner text like 1 2 3 4 5, and also I will make a one style file, and I will link this style file link.css shortcut link.css, and it will make a reference file for me, and it will automatically link with style.css, or you can give any name whatever you want. And now it is linked with this one, and now I will run this code. So I have installed a live server extension in my machine, and you can directly run it, or if you have a live server extension you can just click this button and it will run the application. And you can see that it is showing 5 div, and outside it has a container. So for a more clear picture I will give some borders. Let's say this is my main container. So for a main container I am giving border as 1 pixel solid and black, and for inner child item background, which is like a make as a boxes background color as a red. Okay, now we will see the layout. Okay, now it is showing all child div as a red background, but it is not giving a clear idea about the boxes. So for that purpose we can use a border, even 1 pixel solid and then white. And now you can see that it is showing like a 5 boxes, and outside it has a black border which we will use for a flex container. So in a flex box, outside div is called flex container and inside div are called flex item. So later on we will use outer div as a flex container, and inside item will make as a flex item. So before that we need to know the idea why we mostly use Flexbox. So you can see that whenever we make any container div, and inside if we introduce any div, so it will take as a display block styling, so that way it will take the whole width of whole line, and next it will go to the next line. So that's why if we need a display inline strategy, so instead of writing lot of code, we mostly use a flexbox strategy. So before that, in a old technique, we mostly use a float left for this purpose. So I will show you that how it works. So we just need to give as item as a float left, and you can see that it is making everything as a display inline. We can set any height and width. So let's say I am setting width as a 120 pixel. So height is same like a 120 pixel. So that in this case it will make a box. You can see that it is making as a box. So in a old technique before CSS Flexbox, in a old CSS we use these techniques, but it has lot of problems and it requires lot of code for a responsive layout. So that's why now we mostly prefer to use Flexbox item. So how it works? So for that purpose we will remove this logic float left, and you can see that now every block has their 100% width. It is acting like a display block. So when we convert this layout as a flex box, so every inner div will act like a display inline. So let's start. So we convert this container as a flex box. For that purpose, in a container we will introduce this thing which is like a display flex. So before saving it, I just need to show you that when we see the dev tool, so in a dev tool you can see that in the div class container there is no caption as a flex. So when we use a flex, so it will show a flex label. So and now I introduce display flex. So when I will save it, and it converted as a flex, and you can see that it automatically convert all div from display block to display inline, and it is also introduced this label name as flex. Now this container is made flex, and flex has a two property. One is flex traction as a row and another one is column. So by default this container will make as a row. Row mean whenever we will introduce another div, so it will along horizontally with the old div. So all div will going to this direction as a row wise, and when the space will finish, line will like end, then next div will go to the next line. So this is like a horizontal technique which called flex traction as a row. And if we need to use this technique, that if we want that after the first box, second box should be like here as a column wise, so we just need to use a flex traction as a column. So for that purpose, by default flex direction is row. You can see that it is showing as a row, and if we make as a column, so you can see that now it will act vertically. So now I will explain this image. So this image is showing that this is flex direction as a row. So next div will going horizontally next to the first box, and this whole size is called main size, and this X is called cross size, and this is start of a main, and it is the end of main, and it is start of cross, and the end. It is the whole container which is called flex container, and inside all item is called flex items. So if we, instead of using this technique that every next div should be like horizontally, if we need a vertically, so we will use this direction like column. So in a row, next div will go to the next as a horizontally. In a column it will go vertically. So these are like two techniques. By default flex direction is row, so if you need, you can convert as a column. Also it has a lot of other functionality that you can change the order, like column reverse, row reverse. Like if I am using row reverse, you can see that it is making in a reverse order. Instead of starting here, it started our main start from here. So you can see that by default it start main here. So in this case it will start main from end of the screen. So in the most of the cases we mostly use a row, so I will go with a row. If you want to see the area Flexbox, so you can click on this flex, so it is showing the area of flex, so you can uncheck it. For a default view, it is just showing the grid of a Flexbox area. So also if you want to play with a Flexbox, you can use this button, and it will show you the layout. Like if you want to show this layout as a column layout, so you just need to click this one, and this one will show in a reverse order as a row, and also show a reverse order, in this case 5 on the top and 1 is on the bottom, but this way 1 is on a start and 5 in the end. So you can play with these things, and also there is other thing which you can use. So now we will use a flex wrap. So the purpose of flex wrap is that our layout should be like a responsive layout. Whenever user will open our website on a smaller screen, so it adjusts with respect to our resolution. Like you can see that if I am decreasing my resolution, but my boxes are not going to the next line, so if I will make that layout as a responsive, so boxes will adjust automatic to the next line. And also if we go to the mobile layout, so you can also see the problem. It is not adjusting with respect to our resolution. So for that purpose we will use a flex wrap. So I will use flex wrap as a wrap. By default it have a no wrap property, so that why it is not going to wrap the layout. So I will use a wrap because I need a responsive layout, and mostly cases we use this setting flex wrap as a wrap. And now you can see that it is adjusting with respect to our layout. You can see that now it is adjusting 2 box, and when it will think that it can adjust third box, so it is showing third box 4 2.5. So it is making a responsive layout with the help of flex container and also with the help of flex wrap. And in a normal layout, instead of mobile layout, you can see that it is also acting the same. So our layout is make as a responsive with the help of this property flex wrap and display flex. And you can also play with this button, and you can see that it is wrap. If I will not wrap, then it will not make a responsive layout. You can see that. So you can, if you are newbie, so you can play with this thing also. Now we will play with the other properties, whatever you want. Like for a justify content, you can set as a center, and also you can set as a flex start, so everything will be on start. And if in select end, so everything will be end. So space between will give a equal space between them, and space around, and you can use space evenly, so it will also give a space on the start and the end. So there is a different layout which you can use. So we will check it later about justify content and align items. So now I will use justify content, which will make my content in the center. So for that purpose I will use justify content as a center, so it will make content as a center. And also just a minute, if you need to use these both property as a one liner, then you need to use a flex flow. And first property is like you need to set a direction. First one is flex direction and the second one is flex wrap. This one, flex wrap. So instead of writing two lines, first one is like a direction. If you need to use as a row, so you can set as a row. And now it is asking for a flex wrap, so you need to use a wrap. And if I will commit these two lines, if I show the layout, so you can see that it is working like a same. So it is like a one-liner technique instead of writing two lines. So I will also mention here that, so I will go with these two lines for a more clear picture. But if you want to reduce line, so you can go with this one-liner technique. Okay, now we see that how we can make our content in a center as a horizontally. So we need to use a justify content center. Even we can use a end, so it will make in the end. So I will prefer to use as a center for my this demo. And also I need to make it as a center as a vertically. So for that purpose, if I will use align item, align item, it will align as a vertically. So if I use a center, so it will not work because my layout has a only this height. So for that purpose I will set any height. So for a demo purpose, so I am going to set height as a 100 vh. So you can see that now my box is like little big, so that's why align item center is working properly. So align item is setting as a vertically, so it is using cross axis. So if I remove it, so you can see that now it's on start. So you can also play with these items, and also it is showing different icons or symbols. With that you can play with it. So stretch, you can use stretch, you can use end, you can use flex start, which is like a default one. You can use a center. So you can play with it and also you can use this button to play it, like alignment, center on a start bottom. So you can play with this button also, so it will give you a clear idea. Also you can play with these things. Now if we want to use a margin between all of these items, so in our old technique we achieve this thing using this logic like margin. You can see that all boxes don't have lot of space between them. So if I use a margin like you can see that 12 pixel, so if I save it, and you can see that it is setting a margin between all items. So you can see that I can increase spaces. So this is like a old technique. If you are using a flex box container, then it is good approach that you need to use a column gap and a row gap. So I will remove this line and I will use a column gap. So because all of these boxes is act like a column, so if I set as a column gap as 20 pixel, and you can see that it is setting 20 pixel on a left and a right side, it is acting like a column. And if we have a layout as a flex direction as a column, so it will show on bottom. So in that case we will use a row gap. And if we use a row gap, so it will set and act like margin top and bottom as a 20 pixel. If we need a one liner, same like this flex glow, it is making row and wrap in a one line, we can use a gap as a 20 pixel. Okay, so we can use this way, or also we can use this way, but mostly we use this approach if both has a different value like 20 and 25. So if I need to use the same value 20, so this one is like a prefer approach. So in this case we no need to use these two lines. Gap is like for column gap and also for a row gap. So here also I will prefer above two lines for a clear picture instead of shortcut. You can see that it is showing the gap between rows and a column, and if I change its direction as a column, and you can see that even if I change its direction as a column, so it is showing a gap as a 20 pixel because I set as a row gap and a column gap. So this is strategy to giving a gap or margin in a flex box child item. So our layout is responsive, so you have idea that how flexbox row and a column direction works and other technique. And now in some scenario, if we need to set setting with respect to any specific item, like if I need to set setting for a third item, so how we can do that? Like by default its width is like a 120 pixel and I need to give a more width, so by default its flex glow is 1. If I need to increase its width, so I can use a flex glow, but I will do that, I will give any ID to this third item for a demo purpose, like ID is equal to item 3. In a style I will use flex grow as a 3. So you can see that now it grow as a 3, or maybe you can set as a 2, like a 2x. So it is taking so much space, like you can see that now it is taking like a 2x of space. So now I will show another property. If we need to set any item as a priority that I need to show in the end or a start, before that I already show you guys that you can set as a order, like a reverse order. You can see that now it's in a reverse, 1 is in the end and 5 on the start. So we can use a order as a reverse. But if we need to set this order for a specific item, then we will use a order property. Like I need to set order as like maybe we can say that 15. So higher order will go in the end. You can see that now 3 is the end because I set its order as a 15. So by default all item has a order as a 1, so they have on a same level, and if we increase the order, so item will go in the end. So bigger order will go in the end and lower order will on a start. Or if it's vertical, so it will, if order will be like more, then it will go in the end, otherwise it will go on a start. And also we can use another property which is named as a flex shrink. So when we will make layout as a responsive, so every item will shrink at the same time. We can see in a demo. If we go to a responsive layout, then things will like more clear. You can see that every item is shrinking in the same way. But if we need to sacrifice item number 3, so it will shrink. And I am setting like a more order, so it's same like order. If it has a bigger weightage, then it will shrink first. If it has like a less weight, then it will not shrink on early stage, it will shrink later. So I will show you the demo now. Item 3 has a more weightage, so it will shrink on a start. Maybe I can show you the demo, and you can see that other item are not shrinking. You can see that other item are not shrinking, but 3 is shrinking because it is taking responsibility that I will sacrifice and I will shrink first. So other item has a flex shrink property as a 1. They have a less weightage, so it is not taking responsibility, but 3 is taking responsibility that okay, I can sacrifice and I will shrink. So it is shrinking, and after that it going down, and again it is shrinking more than other items. Okay, now we will discuss last property, which is align self. So now instead of responsive layout, you can see that we set justify content as a center and align item as a center. So align item will act like a vertically, so this way, so it is in center. If I set align center and end, so it is setting in the end as a vertically. So if we have a like a requirement that every item should be on a center, but these 3 should be on a start or the end. So if we need specific requirement, so we can override it without any problem, because it's the beauty of a Flexbox. So we can set it as a align self as a flex start. So you can see that now it is showing this item on a start, so it is not following the flex container rule, which is align item as a center. So this item will like override the property, so we no need to use a imported keyword. So you can see that it will automatically set this item number 3 as a flex start. So we can also use a flex end, can use a center. So we can override whatever we have a requirement. So in my case I will use a flex start. So you can see that it is working fine without any issue. So this is all about the flex box. You can tweak the layout and make a layout responsive without any issue. But still, if you are facing any problem or you have like anything which you need to discuss, you can put in a comment section. So I will help you. And subscribe our channel for more interesting video. Please like our video and subscribe our channel for more videos. Thank you.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.